Hey guys, I'm back with another video, and today's topic is going to be retail therapy or not. And I'm going to talk about whether it's cool, whether it's not, some ups and downs, and things that you can do to get it under control. So retail therapy is a form of emotional spending, and it's usually tied to how we feel, and it's done to improve our mood. So it's most directly tied to feelings of depression and stress. You know, it's done so that it can change our mood and make us happy. So what we want to do is talk about moderation. Now, retail therapy doesn't have to necessarily be a bad thing, but it's also, if as with anything else, it's done in moderation. If you go overboard, there can be some very detrimental consequences, but if done properly, you won't damage your finances. So how many girls out there suffer from retail therapy or excessive shopping? My name is Jermina and I'm a shopping addict. Well, a recovering one. So let's get to it. Not condemning shopping. However, as done with anything, it has to be done in moderation, right? Because if it's not, then it can become a serious problem. And that's what a lot of things like drinking, smoking, when you hear from addicts, it's always because they've done it in an excessive manner. So that's when it becomes a problem, right? So is it cool? Now, I wouldn't necessarily say it's cool, but I know for me, it can be seen as a form of relaxation or escape. You get lost in the store and your mind isn't thinking about whatever it is that you were focused on or stressed about. But as with anything, like I said, you have to be careful because you can go crazy with that. You can zone out and just start throwing everything in the shopping cart. You get to the counter, they tell you your total, and you're like, what? Are you sure about that? You know what I mean? So we want to make sure we're intentional, right? There goes that word again, intentional. When does it become a problem? The first thing is if it begins to bust your budget. And what I mean by that is if you have budgeted for certain things, like let's say your car note or your light bill, gas, anything like that, and you start to dip into those things in order to satisfy your retail therapy habit, it's an issue because technically you don't have the funds to be shopping. So that means you shouldn't be shopping, right? The other thing is if it's keeping you in debt. Now, one of the major goals that you should have, hopefully, is to get out of debt, right? So if you're steady swiping your card, your balance is steady going up, then that's a problem because that's the other thing. Is it running up your credit? A good tip is that you should only keep less than 30% of your balance on your credit card. And hopefully one day you get that down to zero. But if you, now personally, here's what I think you should do. The first thing is leave your card at home. Let me say that again. Leave your card at home. I do this personally and it works for me because sometimes you just feel so tempted and something's like in your ear like, spend me, spend me, spend me. Don't do it. The next thing that you can do is determine the real reason why you're turning to retail therapy as a source. So, for example, right now with retail therapy, you're treating the symptoms. If there is a root cause or root problem as to why you're steady shopping and you don't figure that out, treating the symptoms is only a quick fix. Next thing you know, next week that problem will come back again. You know what's going to happen? You're back in the store shopping. So you want to determine if there's a real issue or problem going on, and that'll help you to get to why you're doing so much shopping and if you can get it under control. And I'm not saying you should never shop, because who wants to live a life where you're budgeting and saving, but you're never having fun? It's about living your life well, but also making successful financial decisions that benefit you in the future, because your future self will thank you. And the last thing is be intentional. And there goes that word again, intentional, meaning set up a fund. If you have some extra funds or you have space in your budget, set up a retail therapy line or a shopping line where you put a certain amount of money aside every paycheck, and that money is specifically for shopping. You can take it out in cash, put it in the envelope. When you're ready to shop, you grab that envelope, you spend what's in there. When it's gone, guess what? It's gone. And that makes it a little bit easier. So it's like you're not shopping, but you're not going crazy with it either. And the last thing is, if you have some necessities or some things that you know that you need to buy, you need to get for yourself, make a list of those things. And then when you feel like you want to go shopping, take a look at that list, buy something off the list. So it's like, I'm buying a need, you know what I mean? But I'm also satisfying that shopping itch. So those are my suggestions for retail therapy. Let me know if any of those work for you, don't make sense, they make sense, or if you have any other suggestions, let me know down in the comments. Please be sure to like this video and subscribe. Bye.